Hello and welcome to today's video, which is coming from southern Poland. On this channel I don't normally do videos with me talking like this. However, I wanted to do this quite quickly, and so this is an exception. I wanted to say a few words relating to the idea of people who are volunteering to go to Ukraine. Now, I think first of all it's absolutely fantastic that people should want to do it. I did think that doing something like the Foreign Legion would be a good idea, and a couple of days later the Ukrainian president announced it. The following day I saw a film on Sky News showing British volunteers, people wanting to go to Ukraine, and even today I heard that 400 Swedes have already volunteered. Absolutely fantastic effort, I have to say. Now, there is something though which I think is really important about this. It's the idea of being a soldier. And it is not something that somebody with no military experience can expect to get very quickly. Indeed, it occurred to me that some very basic skills of soldiering, such as map reading and use of a compass, people these days don't know how to do it. And because we ask our telephones to do things for us. But in a military situation, I can't say think it'd be like, take me to Oxford Street and it tells you where to go. If you're given a position to go to and you can't understand the map, never mind the language, then it's going to be somewhat difficult. The problem is that people who are untrained are going to take trained people out of the line, and that is not something I think that we'd want to do. Indeed, you may as well just go and join the Russian army and take one of them out the line, and then when you surrender to the Ukrainians, you'll get 5 million rubles, which is about 38,000 euros. That apart, I would like to think that, okay then, it's not, I was in the British Army myself, so I do have a reasonable knowledge of these things. The next thing, obviously, that I heard that they were sort of giving Kalashnikovs to everybody or something like that. Well, that's what I heard on the media outlets. I've spoken to people in Ukraine, and that is not the case at all. So I think before doing something like that, they do find out how that weapon is likely to be used and what experience the person does have. Nonetheless, having said all that, there are some non-fighting things which people can do, and the first thing that stands to mind obviously is medical assistance. If you've got medical training, particularly in emergency care, and that was I'm sure that's something which would be very much appreciated. There's other skills that you could put into use, for example, being a driver, being a what else could you do? Mechanic, electrical or mechanical engineers. Even, for example, if you're something like a plumber, which you may think has got absolutely nothing to do with military use. Well, I think it would do. There are there's plenty of work now to be done in repairing damage. So they're all things which can be done by volunteers. Now, the next thing is, and I need to point this one out really well as well, is this. It's a one-way trip. There are regular trains, for example, from here in Poland to Ukraine, so that's normal. But it's on the way back. The trains are packed with refugees. At the moment, there are, I've forgotten the exact sum in Poland, but there's, I think, 660,000 people have left Ukraine, 2/3 of which are passed through the Polish border, and this obviously those that pass through Romania and to much less through Slovakia as well. So and Hungary, and so these people must have priority over others, and you cannot expect to take a place away from someone like that. So it's very much in a it's a one-way trip. Next thing you have to think about is this: is if you are there, you could be taking food and other resources away from people who really need it. So therefore, that's another reason why you've got to be absolutely certain that whatever you are doing, it makes up for the resources that you are using. Having said all of that, if you still think you can actually do something, well, I can tell you how to get there. So if you get to Poland, it's a place called Rzeszów. That's R-Z-E, S-Z-O with an accent, W, Rzeszów, and from there you can go via Warsaw, but I think to Rzeszów there's likes of Ryanair, Wizz Air, or whoever flying there, for example, from the UK and other places. From there you get to the border town of Przemysl, that's P-R-Z-E-M-Y-S with an accent L, and from there there's trains to Lviv, and that's easy. But I say from here to there, the trains I believe are more or less empty. It's the other way back, and then you're not coming. Now, if you've got any questions, then put them in the comments below, and I will not only will I answer them, but I will help anybody who decides that they want to do it. Now, okay, so why don't I go? I speak the language, I have military experience. Coming back now to one thing I said earlier, I believe that I'm physically, at my age now, not up to it. I think that I would be more of a burden than a help. That's how I feel, but I did seriously consider this. And the final point I must make, this is really important, is this, that it may be illegal in your country to actually go to Ukraine. Now, the British Liz Truss in the UK and the British Defence Minister both said that they would encourage people to go. The British Defence Minister said people should join the British Army if they feel up to it. The Denmark said, I think it was the foreign minister, said that Danes can go without any problem, but it could very much be illegal. So you could even get arrested for doing it when you got back home in some cases. So I want to make that absolutely clear, that it's not something that you can just go and do and have a bit of a story to tell whenever you get back. Anyway, though, if you do have comments, put them down in the comment section below, and also I will help people who decide they're going to do it. Thanks for listening.